I finally fixed my Variegated Alocasia Black Velvet, the pink variety. This plant should not be alive right now. When I bought this Variegated Alocasia, I honestly was scared to touch it. So a year passed by, and instead of repotting it properly, I created the most chaotic soil leca hybrid situation you've ever seen. If you're confused already, don't worry, that makes sense, but I'm going to sort it all out and sort out my variegated alocasia black velvet along the way. The most important thing right now for you to understand is that somehow this alocasia survived and we're going to repot it properly together now. Here's what you can look forward to. I'm converting this wonky setup to my 100% hydroponic LECA setup. That's the exact system that has completely changed the way I grow alocasia. But let's not get ahead of ourselves just yet. There are some critical steps that need to be done, from my experience anyway, before you convert your soil alocasia to a hydroponic setup. Let's travel 1 year back in time to when I first bought it. So here we are in December 2024. I bought this beauty from Samantha at SJ's Garden Haven. It was being grown in this little mesh pot. It's like a 2 to 3 inch size mesh pot in a chunky Aroid mix at the time. It was tiny with only 2 leaves, but the variegation was absolutely on point for me, so I took advantage of the opportunity and bought it. In a month or so, the roots started growing out of the mesh pot, and I just buried the entire thing in another pot of leca though. It eventually put out that new leaf with another on the way. Being such a tiny plant and more so an alocasia, I left it in soil not because I prefer soil to grow these types of plants, but because I just didn't trust myself at the time. Switching mediums on alocasias, especially, can really shock the plant. It is highly stressful for these particular plants. So I held off. I was in two minds, thinking if it would grow in soil, maybe this time around it would work, even though semi hydro has always been my preferred choice for growing alocasia. All of these babies that have sprouted in semi hydro, either Lasusaplon or leca, and basically, that's how I ended up with this hybrid setup that's quite confusing, but it didn't seem to bother this tiny plant. So, more time passed. I actually switched homes and moved it to a new location, and it was still surviving. And here's something I've learned about alocasia: survival is information. If a plant survives almost a year in your care, think about it. It's acclimated to you now, not only its environment, but to you. At this point in particular is when my confidence started growing, because it was pushing new leaves, and just the fact that it did not croak on me was just a sign in itself to me that okay, maybe I do have a chance with this plant being a variegated alocasia. You could understand my skepticism, but it stuck around. So now is when I started giving it a little more thought in terms of setting it up for permanency. I featured it in my alocasia tour back then, if you want to go back and watch that to see my thriving alocasias. But this one in particular started showing so much promise, pushing leaf after leaf, not holding on to many yet, as many young alocasias do. They tend to, focus on root growth rather than leaf growth at first. I reflected on my regular Alocasia Black Velvet in the setup that it was in, which was 100% lacquer with a moss collar on the top. Because again, if the plant is thriving, I'm not going to like rush to repot it. So this was also in a hybrid setup that I explained thoroughly in my Alocasia plant care video. And that's when I made the decision that I was going to transfer my variegated black velvet into 100% lacquer as well. So I'm going to walk y'all through step by step next to show y'all exactly what I do to successfully transplant an alocasia from a soil medium to a leca medium. To kick things off, I'm going to grab a fresh bag of leca. I get this from Utopia Gardens. I'll link her information in the description below. I always rinse my leca before using it just to get any dust and debris off of it. I find once I get a new bag of leca, there's always like dusty residue that I would rather rinse off, because I also grow in no drainage for some alocasia. And what I realized is when I don't rinse it, I get a layer of brown dirty water on the bottom that eventually settles and creates like a muddy base. So to avoid that, I always rinse my lacquer before using it. Even if I'm just restocking my leca, a rule of thumb for me is to rinse it before I store it as well. I want to see if I could get a better visual for y'all to see the dirty water or the muddy water rinsing off. There you go. I'm hopefully I captured it well enough for y'all to see, but you would have seen like a rush of brown water as I turn the pipe on, just flowing through the lacquer itself. So that's what I just get rid of. It takes just only a couple seconds to do this, and then I just store it all away or use it immediately. Today I'm going to set up in a no drainage system. That no drainage system or my hydroponic setup is what made alocasia care easier for me. Not perfect, just predictable. So let's get this one out of this wonky setup and into one that is more conducive for long term growth. By the way, the benefits of growing in leca include reduced fungus gnats. If you grow indoors, you can easily monitor roots. You can control your feeding. It's less guesswork when it comes to watering because you're basically maintaining a water line. And it's easier to flush if you want to use that two-part system where you plant it in a pot with holes and then you use a cash pot underneath to catch any excess water when watering. But anyway, let's get started with the transplant. So first of all, I'm going to remove the lacquer carefully because roots have grown out of the soil mesh pot into the lacquer. So I'm just going to gently shake out as much loose lacquer as I can before I start pulling the plant out. Here are some roots. More roots are becoming more visible. The moment is coming where all the lacquer will be out finally. And I just want to mention actually that hydro isn't better than soil per se. It's just better for me when it comes to growing alocasia. The effectiveness for me with alocasia specifically, I have not been able to achieve it in soil, so I have just been sticking to leca. I have tried Lachusapon, but leca is a lot more available locally, as well as it's much cheaper and just easier to acquire than Lachusapon. So the majority of the time now, I use leca to transplant my alocasias if I buy them in soil, or I prop in leca as well. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is remove the plant from the mesh pot while maintaining as much of these roots as possible. These mesh pots are so tricky, it's always so nerve-wracking to get these roots, especially variegated alocasia roots, through them. So I'm just going to be weaving, pulling, and tugging to try and salvage as much as I can. Side note, so far I find the variegation to be quite stable on this pink variegated variety of alocasia. In case any of y'all are interested in getting a variegated black velvet, the variegation seems to be stable. I know the plant is quite small still and is only a year old, but it hasn't reverted, which is great news for me because y'all would know from my plant shows videos I struggle with reverted plants from time and time again. Oh, I found a CORM and I did not expect that, which means the plant is happier than I thought. Luckily, the soil came off quite easily, and what I'm doing is picking off as much of the moss as possible because I find that that reduces root rot and root loss in general. So I'm going to clean this up as best as I can before proceeding. Let me show you exactly what I do to clean this up. So I remove all the old sheets. That's where the previous leaves would have grown from. So I just gently remove them. And I'm removing the comb here. Hopefully I can prop this. And I'm going to continue to just clean up the tuber as best as I could. This helps to prevent rot. There's just no dead organic decaying matter in my no drainage or my semi-hydro setup. Once I get all of this removed and I clean off the roots and the tuber gently with my finger, removing as much soil and anything else, moss or whatever that I can. I've seen people skip this step, but I'm showing you all exactly what I do. Eventually, I just washed it off with some regular water. You can see the roots a lot clearer here. I lost one of the long strands, but I still have three main roots. This is the one that I lost. Yes, I was heartbroken, but it has happened before, so you know, I'll just scream inside quietly. But this one is cleaned up and ready to be sterilized. So this is a step that I would not skip, and I recommend that you guys don't skip this step either. So what I'm doing is sterilizing the container that I'm going to use using rubbing alcohol, and we're going to use hydrogen peroxide to do a root soak. Now be careful when you're purchasing the hydrogen peroxide. It's the 3% strength you want to buy, not the 5%. Next, we're going to make a dilution using 1/3 part hydrogen peroxide and 2/3 part water. Once your dilution is ready, just grab your alocasia and twirl those roots into the dilution. And we're pretty much going to leave it to soak for 20 minutes. This will ensure that there's no bacteria being transferred from the soil into your LECA or hydroponic setup. This works for Le Chusapon as well, okay? So this is just how I sterilize my roots when I'm transferring from soil to a hydroponic medium. So I'm going to grab my pre-washed LECA next, and I'm going to use this glass vessel. It has no drainage holes, which is what I mean by planting up in a no drainage system. So I'm going to add a LECA of layer first, just like this. And what I'm going to do is rinse these roots out first. I'm not just going to plant it up directly out of the hydrogen peroxide. I'm going to rinse it in water just like this before planting it. And by the way, if any of y'all have this plant already and have any tips for me, or just want to chat about the plant in general in terms of how your growing experience has been, or maybe we could compare, I would love to get into it in the comments below or on Instagram, wherever you feel comfortable. So I'm just planting it now into a bed of leca, just like this, making sure that the roots are spread apart nicely. And then I just top it up with leca like that, making sure that the crown of the tuber or the top of the tuber is still a bit exposed to receive some airflow. The final step is to water it in. This actually has a very weak dilution of fertilizer in it. And just because I'm accustomed using LECA, I know this is going to be difficult for y'all to see, but I'll actually throw up another demonstration for y'all to see exactly where my water line is. But it's usually 1 inch from the bottom, but I'm going to show y'all clearly on a marked cup coming up next. And well, this is where its forever home is going to be, in the greenhouse. Okay, as promised, and for more clarity, what I want to demonstrate here is you can clearly see the roots on my Alocasia Dragon's Breath. I grew that from CORM. Wherever your root zone is, when you're growing in no drainage, I personally try to maintain a water line or a water reservoir just below the root zone, like that. Okay, so now that my variegated alocasia black velvet is all set up, I'm so excited to start this new growing journey with you all. If you're still here, thanks so much for sticking around. Be sure to message me if you have any questions. If you're new to alocasia and they're stressing you out, I also made a beginner troubleshooting video, which I'll link below for you all, where I talk about my struggles and more importantly, how I overcame them. This plant in particular, my variegated alocasia black velvet, represents growth for me, not just in size, but in confidence. A year ago, I didn't trust myself to repot it. Today, I understand its roots. If you're scared to repot your alocasia, this is your sign. Learn as much about the plant as you can, watch it, let it teach you, and you'll grow as well. If you enjoy watching plants evolve over time, consider subscribing. My greenhouse is constantly changing. And thank you again for joining me on this new plant journey where we monitor my variegated alocasia black velvet. I'll see you guys in the next one.